Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today we're going like full foodie mode. We're diving into the world of artisanal meat snacks.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Yeah, so picture this, okay? We're in Hastings, Minnesota.
Right.
It's a family-run butcher shop called Duff's Meats 2.
Duff's.
Duff's, they've been around for over 40 years.
Wow.
And let me tell you, people are raving about their jerky and beef sticks.
So we're going to find out why.
Absolutely. So we've got a bunch of sources to dig into.
Okay.
Their website, their social media.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, we even scored an interview with the owner, Colin himself.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we're going to uncover what makes Duff's Meats 2 so special.
All right.
We're talking dedication to quality, their unique process, and of course that flavor.
Yeah, that keeps people coming back for more.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's fascinating how Duff's has managed to stay on top of their game
Right.
for like 4 decades.
Yeah, like that's serious staying power.
Yeah, it really says something about their consistency and quality.
Totally agree with you there.
It's not easy to keep up with the trends,
No.
especially in the food industry. Things change all the time.
All the time.
But Duff's, they seem to have found the secret sauce.
They must have.
And I think it all boils down to their homemade with heart philosophy.
Interesting.
Yeah, Colin was really passionate about this when we spoke.
I bet.
He actually said,
What'd he say?
being homemade is a whole other level for us.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, and it's not just like some marketing
Yeah.
slogan. This
Yeah.
is like the bedrock of everything they do.
It's got to be woven into the whole approach then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's reflected in their dedication to quality,
Mm-hmm.
their unique flavors, and the way they honor those traditional butchering practices.
Yeah, the stuff that gets lost in the mass-produced world.
Exactly.
So how do they actually do it?
All right, so let's break down their process. Colin called it a journey from farm to snack.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's seriously impressive. So they start by sourcing their cattle from a specific program.
Oh, so they're picky about where the meat comes from.
Very picky. This program focuses on ethical treatment and high-quality meat.
Wow, so they're not messing around.
No compromises.
That's got to be rare to find that level of attention to detail.
Oh, absolutely. It shows they care about the whole supply chain, not just the end product.
Right.
And get this.
What?
They inspect every single batch of meat that comes in.
Oh, wow.
And if it doesn't meet their standards,
What happened?
reject it.
No compromises?
None. And from there, it's like a symphony of craftsmanship.
Okay, I want to hear about this.
Yeah, so Colin walked me through each step.
Lay it on me.
They hand cut the meat, then they grind it up,
Uh-huh.
season it with their special spice blend,
Oh, yeah.
and then they hand stuff it into casings, smoke it low and slow with a special blend of hardwoods.
Sounds good already.
And finally, they hand package everything.
Wow, it's like stepping back in time
Right.
to when food was made with care and attention.
It's like you can taste the dedication.
It reminds me of the slow food movement.
Absolutely emphasizing quality ingredients, traditional methods, and respect for the craft.
All about that.
Totally. But here's a question with all this handcrafting.
Yeah.
How do they keep the flavor and texture consistent?
Yeah, you'd think that'd be a challenge, right? With everything being done by hand?
Exactly. Like, how do they ensure every batch is the same?
That's a good question.
Well, Colin had a really interesting answer.
Okay, I'll call you.
He said, it's all about consistency in every single stage.
Makes sense.
So they avoid those bulk commodity buys,
Uh-huh.
the ones where the quality can be all over the place.
Yeah.
Instead, they focus on building strong relationships with their suppliers.
Oh, so they know exactly what they're getting.
Exactly. It's like they're controlling every variable to make sure each bite is as good as the last.
Smart.
Colin actually said, every bit of jerky is hand cut, and it's all done the exact same way to ensure it's going to be the way it should be.
Wow, that's commitment right there.
I know, right? Talk about dedication.
It's a testament to their quality control.
And their understanding that even the tiniest details matter.
Totally agree.
Okay, enough about the process. Let's talk flavor.
All right, let's get to the good stuff.
Duff's doesn't just do your average jerky and beef sticks.
What do they do?
They've got this whole symphony of flavors going on.
I like it.
It's like they're taking a traditional craft and adding a dash of innovation without losing its soul.
That's a tough balance to strike.
So of course they have the classics.
Okay, like what?
Original cheddar pepper jack.
Yeah, those are always crowd pleasers.
Right. Total crowd pleasers, those classic flavors.
They're like a familiar anchor, appealing to a wide range of tastes,
Makes sense.
especially when you're dealing with a product with such a long history.
Absolutely.
So smart.
But then they get adventurous.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you got dill queso pepper, and then there's sweet and sassy.
Sweet and sassy, huh?
I know, right?
Huh.
Super creative.
Yeah, it speaks to a larger trend.
What's that?
Consumers wanting those bold, unique flavors. And Duff's is catering to those adventurous palates.
While staying true to their roots.
Impressive.
So here's a question for you.
Okay, sure.
If you could create a new beef stick flavor for Duff's, what would it be?
Wow, putting me on the spot.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think outside the box.
Hmm.
Spicy, savory, sweet.
Ooh,
Maybe all three.
that's a good one.
What would tempt your taste buds?
That's a tough one.
It's fun to think about, right?
It is.
It really highlights the creativity and ingenuity behind developing new food products.
For sure, even something as simple as a beef stick.
Right. But before we get lost in a world of flavor invention,
Okay.
let's circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Right.
How does Duff's balance their 40-year legacy
Yeah.
with the ever-changing tastes of today's snackers?
It's like walking a tightrope.
Right.
You got to stay true to your roots, but also appeal to a modern audience.
Colin mentioned they're always tweaking things.
Oh, really?
Experimenting with new flavors and techniques. But they always keep those traditional methods at the heart of it all.
I like that.
Yeah, he said, we change a little bit, change with the flavors, but it usually sticks to the traditional.
That's insightful. It shows they get it.
Yeah.
That they understand the importance of evolving without losing their core identity.
Right.
They're not afraid to try new things, but they do it with an eye on preserving what made them successful.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
For sure. Yeah, they seem to have found that sweet spot.
Yeah. And speaking of sweet spots,
Okay.
have you seen their website and social media?
Oh, yeah, their online presence is amazing.
It's a feast for the eyes.
It really is.
You can practically smell the smoky goodness through the screen.
I know, right?
It makes you want to jump in your car and head straight to Hastings.
It's like food porn, basically.
Basically. And they're not just posting pretty pictures.
No, they're engaging with their followers, too.
Yeah, they're answering questions, sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of their process.
That's smart.
It really builds that trust and authenticity.
People want to know where their food comes from.
Exactly.
And who's making it.
And what the company stands for.
Duff's nails it.
They really do. Speaking of stories, did you know Duff's Meats 2 is actually a second-generation business?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right. And you can see that pride in their heritage and their branding.
I bet.
They even have old photos and newspaper clippings on their website.
Oh, that's cool.
It adds another layer to their story.
It shows they're not just a business.
Right.
They're a family with deep roots in their community.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just the history.
Okay, tell me more.
They offer a huge variety of fresh cuts, sausages, even specialty items like bacon-wrapped jalapeno poppers.
Whoa, hold on.
I know, right?
They do all that.
They're not just a jerky shop. They're a full-fledged butcher shop.
That's impressive.
And their commitment to quality extends to everything they do.
That's what I was thinking. It's one thing to specialize in one product, but to maintain that excellence across a diverse range of offerings, that's something else.
For sure. Okay, we've established Duff's is pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're killing it.
But let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
What can we learn from their success?
Yeah. What lessons can other food producers or even other businesses take away?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest takeaways is the power of authenticity.
Yeah, Duff's isn't trying to be something they're not.
Right. They embrace their roots, their quirks.
And it resonates with people.
Totally. It's like they're saying, this is who we are, and we're proud of it.
And people buy into that.
Absolutely. Another key lesson is the importance of quality.
Yeah, in a world of mass production, it's tempting to cut corners.
It is, but Duff's shows that investing in quality ingredients, meticulous craftsmanship, and consistent sourcing pays off.
Totally. It's like that saying, you get what you pay for.
Right, and in this case, you're getting a whole lot of flavor and satisfaction.
For sure. And I think Duff's also highlights the importance of community.
Yeah, they've built these strong relationships with their customer suppliers and their town.
And those connections are invaluable.
They've created a little ecosystem of deliciousness.
I love that.
So if you're ever in Hastings, Minnesota,
You got to stop by Duff's.
absolutely. But even if you're not, their story reminds us that quality, passion, and authenticity can still thrive.
In today's world, for sure.
What do you think are those values becoming even more important?
In our increasingly digital and globalized marketplace,
Yeah, what do you think?
it's an interesting question.
Right.
On one hand, technology and globalization make it easier to access a wider variety of products.
True. We have more choices than ever.
We can connect with businesses all over the world.
But are we losing something in the process?
That's the key question.
Right, like are we sacrificing quality for convenience?
I think there's a growing appreciation for the things that can't be replicated or automated.
Like what?
The human touch, the local connection, the story behind the product.
I think you're right. Do you think consumers are becoming more discerning?
About where their food comes from and how it's made.
Yeah.
I think so.
We're seeing a rise in farmers markets, artisanal food shops, home cooking,
People want to know what they're eating.
and they're willing to pay for quality and transparency.
It's a backlash against the mass-produced food industry.
I agree. And that's where businesses like Duff's have an advantage.
Totally. They're not just selling meat snacks.
Right.
They're selling an experience, a connection, a taste of tradition.
It's a little slice of Americana right here in Hastings, Minnesota.
And people crave that.
And that's what makes their story so inspiring, right? It proves you don't need to be some huge corporation to make a real impact.
I agree. Those small family-run businesses are often the ones driving real change in the food industry.
Yeah, for sure. So Colin mentioned they like to experiment with new flavors sometimes,
Yeah.
but they always stay true to their roots, you know?
Uh-huh.
Do you think there's a limit to how much a business like Duff's can innovate without losing its identity?
That's a great question. I think innovation is key for any business to grow
Yeah,
and stay relevant,
right.
but it's got to be done authentically,
Yeah.
in a way that aligns with their core values.
Yeah, you don't want to alienate those loyal customers
No, not at all.
by like changing things too drastically.
Right. It's all about finding that sweet spot between tradition and new possibilities.
Okay, so let's say Duff's wanted to expand beyond Hastings.
Okay.
Could they keep that commitment to quality and that artisanal spirit?
Yeah.
That's the big question, right?
That is the question. Scaling up often means compromises.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose sight of the details when you're aiming for a mass market.
So do you think it's possible to grow without sacrificing those core values?
It's tough, but I think it's possible. It takes creativity,
Yeah.
strategic partnerships,
Like what?
maybe even rethinking certain parts of the process.
So maybe partnering with smaller producers?
Yeah, ones who share their commitment to quality.
Yeah. Or investing in technology.
That boosts efficiency without compromising the craft.
Right. Finding that balance between tradition and innovation.
It's a challenge, but it's worth exploring.
Wouldn't it be great if more people could experience the Duff's difference?
It'll be amazing.
All right, so one last thought before we wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
We've covered their commitment to quality, the process, their amazing flavors.
It's been quite a journey.
But for me, their story is what really stands out.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
They're a family business that's been a part of their community for over 40 years.
That's incredible.
They're passionate about what they do, and it shows in every bite.
It's a reminder that food is more than just fuel. It's about connection, community, tradition.
Something to be savored.
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into the world of Duff's Meats, too.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We explored their dedication to quality, their passion for flavor, their history.
And that delicate dance between tradition and innovation.
We even tackled some big questions about the future of food production.
And the challenges of scaling up.
Without losing that special something.
It's a tough one.
So hopefully this deep dive has left you craving some delicious snacks.
And with a new appreciation for those small businesses out there.
The ones keeping that spirit of craftsmanship alive.
They're the backbone of the industry.
So if you're ever looking for some truly exceptional meat snacks,
Head over to Duff's Meats 2 in Hastings.
or check out their website.
You won't be disappointed.
And hey, maybe this deep dive has inspired you to try making your own jerky.
It's a fun project.
Who knows, maybe you'll be the next artisanal food success story.
You never know.
Until next time, happy snacking, everybody.
Happy snacking.